What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you this evening?
We're doing well as can be expected in Sleepy Joe's disgusting America. But we had a nice weekend, strong weekend, and a lot of golf. So, we're here, we're doing the podcast. So at least they haven't canceled us yet. The radical left, they love canceling.
Yes, we are still alive, and the family's well.
Who?
Your family, people you live with, your wife, your son.
Melatonin. No, melatonin's, she doesn't talk too much, but she's good.
Okay. I have a surprise guest for you today. I know you're very busy, and
it's not Obama, is it?
Obama is not here today. No, Obama is not here. Very special guest. She is the host of her own podcast. It actually comes out tonight, Mr. President, so you can check it out. Podcast called That's Offensive. And the host is Adelia Acker. Adelia, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, I'm so excited to meet the president. So nice, or I guess ex-president who got fired.
Okay, so that's a bad start to your time on the show. As you should know, we have a fake president right now. So I like that you showed respect. But, maybe you have your facts wrong will be nice. Maybe you got a little too much fake news. But no, still on this podcast, very much still the president. So we are very happy to have you here. Usually our tech stuff guy brings in, let me put it nicely, incredibly ugly people. And you are not one of those. So we're very happy to have you today.
Thank you.
So Adelia, your podcast, That's Offensive, comes out tonight. Can you tell everyone what they should expect from this podcast?
The podcast talks a little bit about everything. It talks about like my OnlyFans experience, mental health, what I do on OnlyFans. So everything from like my orgies to like boy girl content to like a little bit of everything. And then I bring on guests who talk about their journey coming on to OnlyFans as well, but I like to ask them about their childhood and their trauma and stuff like that and dig a little bit deeper. But it's also
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I already have to tell tech stuff. This is my favorite guest we've ever had.
I knew you'd be so happy, Mr. President.
Tremendous guest. This is what I've been looking for. You've been bringing me like political people, and so it's a disgrace. This is what your president wants. Thank you. Continue, Adelia.
Thank you. I would assume so.
So Adelia, you currently have an OnlyFans page?
Yeah, I just checked my stats the other day. I'm the 17th most followed person on OnlyFans.
17th most. That's impressive, Mr. President.
I assume I'm number one. I assume unless OnlyFans is radical left and they're suppressing my statistics.
I mean, if you're not sending out dick pics, I don't know how you get in that number one spot.
Well, I do. I send Mike Pence's dick pics. I keep them to myself. It's a presidential penis. You can't just, Secret Service doesn't want it just flopping out there for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Adelia, I wanted to ask you if Ivanka had an OnlyFans page, do you think it would be number one?
No. No.
Mr. President looks very upset right now.
Sort of a strike too for Adelia. We were getting along so well, and now she insults now Adelia, I say this as a father, my smoking hot, very sexy daughter.
Yeah, I would say people in the number one spot. I mean, honestly, it's a bunch of safe for work pages, and like the number one spot, it's no one who's doing porn or anything like that. So it's like podcasts and wellness pages.
Oh, and gross.
And Mojo is somewhere in there.
Oh, that's horrible. I feel like they should kick that. I think OnlyFans should be the opposite of other sites. They should kick people off for doing like who goes to OnlyFans for wellness and podcasts? It's a disgrace.
Apparently, some people.
Weren't they trying to censor OnlyFans
Um,
recently?
they were because of pressure of banks, but they sent out a message being like, we take it all back, and that they are, going to listen to the sex workers and stuff like that. I just think that they were trying to avoid a lot of fines by doing that. But I guess they paid them and are back in good standing so that we can continue making the content we are.
Well, I have to tell, I have a secret to tell you. I actually placed a very powerful phone call from Mar-a-Lago to the people at OnlyFans, and I said, my wife, mesothelioma, has an OnlyFans page, and she doesn't like your new rules. And I think they backed off. They said, sir, we will back off, and we will not cancel the great adult content. So you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know the president had something to do with OnlyFans not banning explicit content anymore. Thank you, Mr. President.
Now we're going to be running on that in 2024. I'm hoping that I sort of want OnlyFans to partially sponsor my campaign.
They might.
Now, I have a question about I've never joined OnlyFans. I don't know if our listeners know about OnlyFans. So OnlyFans is a pay subscription for things as far as pornography to wellness, as you were saying before, to podcasts.
Yeah, OnlyFans has a broad spectrum of what people do. I mean, my old podcast page, it was called Where OnlyFans is actually the second most followed page on the site, I believe. But it's OnlyFans likes to have safe for work content as well as not safe for work content. So if you have safe for work content, there's a good chance you can get on the suggested page and they'll really boost your page. But both of my subscriptions are free. Actually, I have 3 pages, but all of my subscriptions are free because I make most of the money off the messages anyways. So it just gives me a lot more exposure and more people to sell to.
What do you mean by that? By messages?
So I can send out.
I can take it from here. No, what happens is they send out a thing and say for $9.99 you can download this video or this, or they'll do, if you're very persuasive and rich like me, they'll do, oh, send me what you want me to do, and we'll come to an agreement on, a strong price, and I will send them fake currency. Don't tell any of your friends, but sometimes I sort of, I send fake Bitcoin to people. But I think, well, you may explain it, but I'm very, very knowledgeable, I think, in this area.
Except Bitcoin isn't a thing on OnlyFans yet. Maybe in the near future.
Well, good thing some of the people on OnlyFans don't know that yet. I've gotten away with it so far.
But yeah, basically I can message my subscribers and be like, hey, here's a video of me. So then they have to pay to unlock it. And that's how I make my money.
Okay. So the free content is just pictures of your everyday life, you hanging out to get to know you and stuff like that. And then the other ones are paid for.
Yeah, basically. And when your page is free, you can like lock stuff on your page as long as sending out a message to one of your subscribers. So there's multiple things you can do, whereas having a subscription, I think it limits some of the things you can do. I'm just trying to get as much exposure as possible, since if some of my fans are coming from OnlyFans itself, they have like no motive to pay for a subscription if they don't know me.
Now, were you doing any sort of pornography before this or anything like that? Or you just jumped in when OnlyFans became a thing and you figured out a way to make money and make yourself as a business?
I decided to make an OnlyFans actually on acid. I was working a corporate job. I wasn't doing any pornography before that. I was working as a logistics outside salesperson, so walking door to door, and I was just really not enjoying myself. And I already had like an Instagram following. You can't really tell right now because I'm currently on my 4th Instagram. They just keep deleting me, even though I don't even promote my OnlyFans on Instagram. But people kept asking me to make an OnlyFans, and I'm like, fuck, with the amount of people asking, I'm sure a lot of people would subscribe. And then within 24 hours of making one, I wasn't even doing any pornographic content yet. But I made a month's salary at my old job within 24 hours. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going back.
Wow. That's
like that
crazy.
Logistics.
How many subscribers do you have on OnlyFans right now?
I believe I have 204,000 subscribers.
That's a good following on OnlyFans.
That's very strong.
6-figure followers.
Mr. President, do you want to tell her about your streaming service that you plan on going into with Ivanka leading the way? Maybe she might be interested in, being a part of it.
No, I think, we've talked about this on this show for a long time. I want to start a streaming movie service called Netflix.
Mhm.
And I wanted to feature mostly Ivanka movies, tasteful, very appropriate for a father to film and watch. But I'm starting to think that maybe we should go and just get Ivanka and OnlyFans. What recommendations? And once again, remember, I'm her father, so it's got to be tasteful. Threesomes are the maximum I would allow her to do in a film that I'm producing. So I would say, what would be your recommendations for Ivanka to have? I think she would go number one, but you're saying she wouldn't. What would you advise her to do if she wanted to have a very strong Trump OnlyFans?
Well, here's the thing, because having the most subscribers doesn't necessarily mean you're making the most, and Ivanka already has a very strong fan base, I'd say. So what you'd want her to do is have a subscription, like ask people pay for the subscription. For someone, as big as her, I'd say $20 or $30, because you're trying to get her in the 0.01%. You're not trying to have her have the most subscribers, since everyone already knows her. And then you start off in fly nudity. Then you work your way to, flashing a little nipple or something like that.
Oh, well, you're turning on your president now.
Oh.
As a father, I say that as a father.
And then you just kind of work your way up to whatever she's comfortable doing, because you never want to give them everything at once.
Well, no, that's okay. This is something. If we ever start a sort of online porn division of the Trump organization, I think you have the knowledge and the beautiful blonde hair, I think, to be an executive. So
thank you.
No, we should talk. I think I'm going to probably be president again soon, so we'll have to delay that. But that's good advice. And I think you would assume that her husband shouldn't be in any of the videos. Jared Kushner, he's very skinny and not very impressive.
I would actually say, because you could do a lot of boy girl content, even if she isn't necessarily fucking him. Like, he can give her massages and it's still boy girl. Like, people still want to buy it because boy girl sells like crazy, because the guys feel like it's them in the video if they're doing like POV style kind of reporting like this.
Well, no, that's I had Secret Service install a camera in their bedroom for that angle so that I could, just to make sure my daughter's okay. But
Yeah,
okay, you know a lot about this. This is very strong. Thank you.
I've been on OnlyFans for a year now. It's just a year on the 23rd.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Onlyversary? Can we call it an onlyversary?
Anniversary.
By the way, I just trademarked that, and if you use it, I'm suing
you. How often do you have to put paid content on your OnlyFans?
Just about every day. It's a lot of work. That people just want to buy content every day, so I gotta make it just about every day.
Do you have? I gotta ask, and I'm a classy gentleman, but do you get creeps?
Do I get creeps?
Like creepy people, or people being respectful?
I would say for the most part, people are very respectful. Because I think a lot of people are looking for the girlfriend experience on OnlyFans. So it's like they want to treat me like they would their girlfriend or something like that. I do have some people who just like to complain about everything. Like, let's just say I'm getting railed by some dude. They're like, why didn't he stick it in your ass? And there's just people who like to complain like that.
Let me tell you something. This is one of my.
I'm like Kushner as Mr. President.
Well, no, as president, I didn't have a lot of time to watch porn, so I was down to like 4 hours a day. Now It's a little more, but in the White House, they don't give you a lot of time. So 4 hours max. That's max.
Yeah.
And one of the things that always struck me is so stupid. I can complain a lot, but when you're watching porn and the people who do the negative comments, who are these people? It's always like, oh, it's got a 3,000 thumbs up and 9 thumbs down, and some guys like, this was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see you do better. I could do better, but let's see this guy do better.
Well, here's the thing, they're still buying my content. And like people who hate on me on the internet, which that happens a lot, but it's like they're adding to my views. Like they're pushing my content by leaving mean comments. And
This
sometimes
is
it makes me feel powerful because you know what? All I have to do is be myself on the internet and I piss some people off. Like I'm just being me, and somehow being me is offensive to people.
Are you okay? Tech stuff. You hear this woman talking. She's talking my language.
Might have found your new wife, Mr. President.
Are you interested? Melatonin doesn't know, but I'm having divorce papers drafted. Okay,
Wow.
because I've been with her long enough. Okay, she's 50 something. I don't even remember. But
Okay.
we will be looking very strongly for a fourth Mrs. Trump before 2024.
As long as there's prenup, I'm in.
As long as there's no prenup.
Yeah, no prenup. I'm in.
Well, we'll say, if you don't know my financials, maybe you're making more on OnlyFans than I'm making right now. Maybe I take some of your money. How about that?
Well, the prenup would only work. Oh, yeah, it's a risk I'm willing to take, Mr. President.
You hear that? That's
Wow.
called love.
This
Tech
is
stuff. That's called
I mean,
love. It's
this
about
is
taking a risk.
so we might be looking at the future Mrs. Trump right here. Feast your eyes. This is amazing, Mr. President. Who knew a surprise guest like this? You guys have so many things in common. But I have to ask one question.
You bring on ugly Democrats and radical left people. And the first time you bring on somebody interesting, there's tremendous chemistry. I think everybody listening feels that powerful chemistry. It's like Truth Social, my new social media company. Maybe I think we're going to maybe have an adult content portion for it. Maybe she could run that.
Maybe. I'm definitely down for new adventures.
Well, Adelia could be part of Truth Social. Would you join Truth Social, Adelia, between Twitter and Instagram and everything else going on? Would Truth Social be one of your social media spots to post things?
Probably, as long as I don't keep getting deleted. I've had my TikTok deleted twice and put back twice. I've had 3 Instagrams deleted and a Twitter deleted and my Snapchat. I just feel like all social media censorship is getting a little crazy.
Truth Social we have a rule. We will never censor attractive blondes doing powerful content.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear.
I wanted to
say
ask,
though, some of my supporters, I love them because they support me, but some of them are real filthy trash though. So you might want to block some of them. We'll allow
all right.
that.
Sounds good.
Adelia, I wanted to ask you a question before we move any further in this possible relationship between you and the president. Did you vote in the last election?
No, I did not.
Good enough for me.
Okay. If you would have,
as long as she, you want to get her in trouble.
Yeah,
I think she's smart enough to say the right thing.
Well, let's see if she's going to be honest or try to just humor you. Who would you have voted for? Would have been Biden?
Tiffany is acting
His
up right now.
daughter. Would you have voted for Biden or Trump?
Here's the thing about voting is I don't feel educated enough to vote for anybody. So there's fake media, there's real media, and I just don't know the fucking difference. So I don't know who I would have voted for, honestly. I need to be educated.
How about Adelia, January 6th, terrorists or patriots?
I guess patriots, man.
Mr. President, I told you.
I don't mean to be rude, but she's a big girl. She does adult content. I am a fully aroused 2.75 right now. You keep talking like this, we might hit 3.
He's never said that on a podcast before, ever. I mean, it's historical. Oh, this is amazing. So, okay, that's fine. If you don't want to vote, I guess that's everyone's right. Have you had any strange experiences on OnlyFans with your subscribers? Like, what's the weirdest thing some guys ever asked?
Oh, I mean, one of my favorite things about OnlyFans is getting the dick pics for like dick ratings and stuff like that. Because I think like every dick looks like a snowflake. They're all so different. But I think the weirdest thing I got, and I still think about it to this day, is when this guy had a little micro penis in public, like on a soccer field. I think it looked like he put a clamp on his balls and dick and was like, humiliate me. And I'm like, you're humiliating yourself right now. What are you doing, bro beans?
Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon is a real wild card. Yeah, that was. Do you honestly rate the dicks, or do you kind of give them a little extra? Oh, I was gonna say this was a 6 out of 10, but you're nice and you tip well. 8.5 out of 10.
It depends on like what they're looking for.
It tips well.
It kind of depends on what they're looking for. I think for the most part, I'm pretty honest. Like I haven't given a lot of 10 out of 10s. It kind of ranges. I'll give like 7s or 8s, but like if there's some special pizzazz, I'll give a 10. I really like when guys draw dick art because I'm just like, wow, you're so creative and you're putting so much effort into this dick pic. It like makes me really appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't do art, but I could try.
But honestly, with the amount of Rolexes you have, just put like a Rolex on your dick, and I feel like that's art.
You want me? Well, I don't know if it'll slide off. Unless you talk that powerful dirty talk, and then all of a sudden we might even be able to hold 1.5 Rolexes on
it. Just take some Viagra and we're good to go, baby. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, if I can ask, I'm interested. When you do your videos, the more explicit variety, is it a boyfriend? Is it friends? Is it actors? Is it strong Republican presidents?
So I don't have a boyfriend. And actually it took me a really long time to even make a sex tape because like I was celibate for like 7 or 8 months, just not hooking up with anyone. And then I was kind of like, I'm missing out on money that I could be making. So I found a guy who, I mean, it's funny because he subscribes to my OnlyFans, but I hooked up with him like a while ago. So we've made quite a bit of content together. And now I'm just finding more and more guys willing to do content with me. So there can be like a variety.
Oh, well, that's so you're saying a young, attractive blonde is able to find sexual partners? That's
honestly, I was surprised because most of my guy friends say that my personality ruins my sexual appeal, my sex appeal. But some men are attracted to it. My guy friends are like, you're really fucking hot, but once you get to know you, no.
What? I can have the Secret Service and the CIA take care of some of these so-called guy friends that are disrespecting the future Mrs. Fort Trump.
Love to hear that.
These guys who are in the videos, are they paid based on the sales of your video, or you pay these guys just a flat rate usually?
So there was a guy who said he would do it for, actually, this is the first guy I really made content with, like a sex tape with. He at first said he would do it for free, and then after we after we made the video, he's like, actually, I'm charging you. And he tried to get me to charge 1%, and I'm like, absolutely not. So I just paid him a flat rate. But I just found another creator on OnlyFans who's like down to make content with me. And all I have to do is tag him and vice versa. So in that case, I don't have to pay him because I'm giving him some of my subscribers and he's giving me some of his.
Do you hire a cameraman, or you do everything POV or with your
POV,
like a selfie stick?
They are the most efficient because, like, I mean, if someone wanted a full production, they'd go on Pornhub, but if they want something that feels more personal to them, they go on OnlyFans.
Gotcha.
Or I scroll through Ivanka's phone, but same thing.
If there's one person who you would love to see on OnlyFans, who would that be?
I'd love to see Tyler, the creator, on OnlyFans. I just like my type in men is like tall and really skinny and lanky. It almost looks like they like do a fuck ton of drugs and that's why they're so skinny.
Okay, so we've got a Pete Davidson fan here.
Yeah. Oh my God. He did. Yeah. Tall, skinny, and looking like they're gonna die. But I would love to see Tyler. I feel like Tyler, the creator, he was like my first celebrity crush. I feel like he'd just be so fucking funny on OnlyFans. Plus, like I'd love to see some of his dick pics. Just, me personally. I
Is
know.
he any relation to Cedric the Entertainer?
Then I said it.
Whoa, he's a black comic, but they both have the as their middle name, so I didn't know if they were related.
They leave there.
Adelia, really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight and want to promote your new podcast. Everyone check it out. That's Offensive, covering everything from OnlyFans to mental health. You can download it, Apple iTunes, anywhere you can find podcasts. It's That Offensive.
Midnight. So our Patreon people should have to wait till midnight tonight, but everybody who gets this on Tuesday, it'll already be up.
Yes. Yes.
And
on all the platforms, all the podcast people.
Yes, sir. And
she called me sir. Thank you. Hear that, text?
I heard that.
It's called respect.
And you could check out Adelia's OnlyFans. What's your
actually all of my links, this just might make it easier. It's Deals, so ITSDEELZ.com. And that'll have my OnlyFans, my Instagram, my Twitter. Whenever I say my ads, I just feel like I get deleted a lot. So it's just easier to send them to my website.
That's not a problem.
But also onlyfans.com/daddydeals. Please subscribe.
There you go. And that's Adelia Acker, the host of the new podcast, That's Offensive. Adelia, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. And I do see we're doing a Bachelor type show with the president, and you might run away with it. So I don't know if we could put you in it. But
I didn't even know she should be in it. I think
I know
fair to everybody else.
It would be
unbelievable. Greatest. And I say this, we've had celebrities, we've had politicians. The greatest guest we've ever had on this podcast is right now. I say that very strongly.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm excited for our wedding coming soon.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
I hear wedding bells, and we'll have Tyler, the creator, play the, we'll have him do the music, but, obviously we can't have you actually making out with him at our wedding, but, you can wink at him. I'll allow that. I'll allow you to wink at him.
Again, listen to the podcast. That's Offensive. Adelia Acker, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Adelia Acker, the future Mrs. Trump.
Excuse me, Mrs. Fourth Trump.
Mrs. Fourth Trump.
Put some respect on her sequential name.
My apologies. Check out her podcast. That's Offensive. Comes out tonight. Also, check out the Patreon. Tons of bonus content. We have a live episode this month where we are going to be talking to our new Patreon president and vice president, which should be a fun show. Also, we have more guests coming on. Tons of bonus content. Patreon.com/MPGA. Also, the Idaho Militia Christian Bible State Tech College shirts are going to be taken down. The limited run is almost done. It will be done probably this Thursday morning of the podcast coming out. So please pick up those shirts if you want them. Again, go to our website, mpgapod.com, to check out the shirts, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Mr. President, Adelia Acker, huh?
These are the kinds of guests you've been bringing me. No, I mean, no disrespect to Big Huck or, we had remember Brian, what was it? Brian Christensen or something?
Johnson?
Well, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I know you're talking about.
We've had strong, loyal guests. We've also had radical left, disgraceful guests come on. That was the greatest guest we've ever had. And it's not, excuse me, not even close. And that's imagine if she hadn't sort of insulted Ivanka's earning potential, but she gave strong tips.
She
She gave
did.
very strong tips because Ivanka's already been doing the subtle content. You remember the UN picture? That was a little, hey, look at these poking
Mhm.
out. So
Yes, I remember.
she's very well. You shouldn't remember too much. Show some respect.
Okay.
But she's some things should just be between a father and a daughter. But
Well,
she's I think that was a very powerful guest, a very honest guest, a very blonde guest, nice young blonde. So
yes.
we're very happy with her. And you heard it. She has, and
Are you subscribing to her OnlyFans? Is my question.
well, I just did. I mean, I already did. I just did. I don't know. I mean, what do you think we're doing here? It's free, and we'll negotiate some strong
Uh,
prices on videos.
Mr. President, there's one story I want to talk to you about before we end the episode. And have you heard of Liberty University?
A great place of Christian learning. Falwell,
Mhm. He was the
uh,
founder, correct?
I don't fall, but when I do, I fall well. And he was the founder, very strong Christian. His son was working there as well, very talented swinger Christian. It's a new branch of powerful evangelicals, these swingers, sharing Christian love with people who aren't your wife. And no, it's a very important place in our country. It's a place of faith and integrity and conservative values. So we love Liberty University, and we love liberty. I might have called it Freedom University, but I think Liberty was a good choice as well.
Have you heard they are going to be punishing students who report being raped?
Well, there's a lot of fake rapes going out there. We call them fapes, and there's a lot of them. And I think you should be punished if you do such a thing. It's a disgrace. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm negotiating with our great
With Adelia?
OnlyFans. You think we could just do a prenup via OnlyFans? Like I say, if I tip you $400, we have a strong prenup.
I think that could work. I'm not sure the legal situation on that, but it works for me. Mr. President, how do you know these are fake rapes or fapes, as you call them? How do you know that there are legit, these people were raped and they're reporting it?
Who?
These women, how do you know they really were raped and they are reporting the rape?
Well, I can only vouch for the ones I did. I know those happened. But as far as Liberty, these are Christians. They don't do, your Bible. Christians have never done anything wrong. They don't. It's like Nixon once said, it's illegal if the president does it. If the president does it, it's not illegal. If you go to Liberty University, you're strong, full well Christian. So it can't be. It's Christian power. I think it's called Christian power, which also
Strong
sounds,
Christian values.
no, excuse me, Christian power also sounds like a guy who might do videos with our OnlyFans friend. Doesn't that sound like a strong male porn name? Hello, maybe should that be my OnlyFans name? When I see her, I go, hello. You may know me as Donald J. Trump, but I'm actually Christian Powers.
You want to put an S at the end? I think power sounds better. Christian
you obviously
power.
Don't know adult content. No, it's Powers.
I don't know. I think power at the end, but okay.
No, Power is an African American show. Powers is strong porn.
Strong porn. A strong porn name for you. All right. So you have anything else to say about this Liberty University? You don't think that maybe you should report rape, even if yeah.
No, if you're at they call them HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities. If you're there and a sexual assault occurs, you should report it immediately. But if you're at a strong Christian school, it didn't happen because it's Christian.
Okay. Well, that makes sense now. Now I understand.
Or if you're at like a big liberal state school, like if you're in Berkeley or one of the California state schools, then it probably happened because they're very liberal, liberal with their nasty sexual actions. Whereas if you're at a state school in a strong Trump state like Florida or Georgia, nothing wrong ever goes at those schools. They win their football games and the beautiful women say, let's celebrate. And it's wonderful. And that's what happens at Liberty University. It's called Liberty. It's called Christian. Notice nowhere in the university title is sexual assault.
Should be on a t-shirt.
Idaho Militia Christian.
Yeah, on the back of it. Now, Mr. President, I appreciate you spending time with all the listeners again every single week. And Adelia Acker, your hopefully future Mrs. Fourth Trump. Also, check out the Patreon for bonus content, our live episodes every single month, movie reviews, special guests, patreon.com/MPGA. It's patreon.com/MPGA. Also, there's only a few days left to get these t-shirts.
Tiffany, we're almost done. Shut your mouth.
The Idaho Militia Christian Bible State Tech College shirts. You have a few days to get them. Go to mpgapod.com. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel too. Leave a rating and review on iTunes. We haven't done that in a while. Also, check out my special, Something from Nothing. Find it on Amazon. For international people, it's on Vimeo, on most video on demand for cable providers. So check it out. It's a comedy special / documentary, Something from Nothing. Appreciate all listeners who have checked it out already and the nice, kind words. I am getting back on the road. November 19th, 20th, opening for Brett Ernst from Cobra Kai at Bananas in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey.
Nice.
And in December 3rd and 4th, I'll be headlining Harrisburg Comedy Zone, bringing Mike Keegan with me. Funny dude. So check that out, Harrisburg, PA, and more dates to come. Yes, the baby's getting a little bigger and I could do some local stuff these days. So that's nice. And Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Tech stuff, you're fired, but you did a good job bringing in Adelia.
You're welcome.
I'd like to make it, because notice it's Adelia, right? I already forgot. Adelia, you know what my book was called? The Art of the Deal.
Yes, The Art of Adelia.
You better put that in the title, you son of a bitch. The Art of the Adelia. And that's called branding. And that's why we would make a very strong, sexy blonde power couple. Hey guys, it's JL. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. If you want to hear, I have to say thank you. There were several Mapigas, most notably, no offense, many of you listened, but Alex's iPhone made the trip from DC to the special taping Saturday. So a special shout out to our Patreon president. That is Patreon presidential. Right,
that
there.
is presidential right there.
That's how you keep the office, folks. But it was there's no way around it. It was an A+. It was if you listened to my morose righteous prick podcast last week, you know that I was going in with depressed guns blazing, viewing this as a last best hope for my career. And I delivered everything I really felt I had in my capability. So now it's a little out of my hands, but I do want to thank everybody who showed up. Sam, special shout out to Sam, fan of the show, who showed up late because he had missed our end of show announcements and didn't see. So he showed up for the 9:30 show with a couple of buddies that never occurred. So he got to watch the last few minutes of the show and then was nice enough to buy me a drink. So I've promised Sam and his two buddies a free, unless it gets on a streaming platform, I have promised them a free link to the special when it is available, unless it's, on Netflix or Showtime or something else. And then, just watch it. But, that's a,
I'll get you that drink again.
Yeah. But beyond that, so I just wanted to say thank you. If you want a full recap, check out Righteous PK podcast, my other podcast, and I gave a full blow-by-blow recap of the week leading up to the special, how the taping went. Outside of that, sorry for running on, but I am in Lee, Massachusetts, November 6th That's in the Berkshires, doing a show with Jordan Carlos. In fact, he is on the show as well. Our President Obama. So if you know anybody in the Berkshires, if you are near the Berkshires, it's a fundraising show, and it's going to be a really, really good show. After that, December 9th, the Pittsburgh Improv, December 16th to the 18th, the DC Improv. February 6th, Flappers in Burbank, still looking to add Chicago, Boston, Salt Lake City, San Francisco, still talking to venues in those cities. And also, Jay mentioned at Harrisburg Comedy Zone, I'll be there January, it's on my website, January something.
Nice.
So, yeah, there you go, folks. So sorry this went long, but hopefully you listened all the way to the end, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode. So yeah, go give us 5 stars if you haven't. Tell a friend, join the Patreon. You won't be disappointed. And God help us all.